to SEMS. A very good morning to everyone present here. I, Ipshita, would like to start this knowledge session on opportunities for joining armed forces after 12th and after graduation at 11 a.m. About this topic, a career in the armed forces is not just a job, it's a commitment to serve the nation with pride and courage. Young aspirants can join right after 12th through entries like NDA or OPT for graduate level entries such as CDS or AFCAT. These opportunities open doors to leadership, adventure, and lifelong honor. It's calling for those who wish to make a real difference. SEMS Welfare Foundation, a registered non-profit organization, is dedicated to social impact across various sectors. We focus on education, particularly skill development and entrepreneurship. Through our initiative Digi Saksham, we have created training programs in IT, finance, retail, and entrepreneurship, impacting over 6,000 individuals. We are currently upskilling inmates in Haryana jails and collaborating with universities and colleges. We have also partnered with bank to place over 1,500 candidates in job. In just a short time, SEMS has established itself as a force for positive change, equipping individuals with skills for employment and promoting women's leadership in various industries. This session is collaboratively organized by Dizzy, Dizzy sorry, Digi Samksham is a company that empowers business through data and technology. We offer a wide range of services including IT, software, data science, research, data analytics, and marketing. About the speaker, we are pleased to introduce Wing Commander Vineet Datta, a motivational speaker engaged in spreading awareness among youth towards opportunities of joining in armed forces, a sportsman who is providing hands-on coaching to beginner level kids in badminton and shaping up their physic fitness by imbibing the military way of doing things. Let's welcome him.
So,
Sirs,
Okay, you handed over to me.
yes.
yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much for having me over here on this platform. I today feel honored, privileged to deliver such a talk on your platform. Before I start, I would like to have a small introduction from the people who are going to benefit from this. May I request who all are attending, if they can put on their video, fine. If they cannot, no problem. One by one, they can just speak about themselves so that I can understand, where do I pitch it up so that it gives them value. This is what my aim is. May I request the participants to kindly just in one or two sentences introduce about themselves, maybe their educational qualification, maybe what they are doing as of now, and what do they expect from the lecture. That will give me a fair idea. Otherwise, I have a fairly long PPT which can just go on and on. I don't want to do bore people. I am a very straight person, so I'm speaking very straight on this. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Myself, Dr. D.B. Jani. I have completed my PhD from IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. Currently, I am Associate Professor at the GEC Dahood under Gujarat Technological University, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. And through this lecture, I wanted to enhance my communication skill and deep insight into the motivational one. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Anybody else, please?
Sir, I am GD Garg, retired from HL Lucknow in 2012. I am retired. Just I wanted to know about the scope of people after 12th and graduation, because my grandson is in 11th class and he wanted to join army.
Great, sir. Great. Thank you, sir. Anybody else, please?
Hi, good morning, sir. I am Karishma. I completed my PGDM HR course from Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Now I am pursuing my internship with SAMS Welfare Association, SAMS Welfare Foundation.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We would not waste everybody's time. So if there are people who are joining through the course of this, okay, we will welcome them in between. And basically, to tell you about myself before I kickstart this motivational talk, I'm Wing Commander Vineet Datta, retired from the Indian Air Force in December 2022. I joined Indian Air Force as a mechanical engineer. Air Force converted me into an aeronautical engineer. Thereafter, I have worked extensively on the trainer fleet of the Indian Air Force. In the maintenance management domain of the Indian Air Force. Indian Air Force is divided into various domains, which I will be covering through the course of my presentation. And throughout my career, I have held various appointments of Joint Director of Engineering at Air Headquarters, Joint Director Maintenance at Aeronautical Development Agency, closely associated with the LCA Tejas program, and I also did my MTech in quality management from BITS Pilani. I am a Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certified practitioner. I do impart Lean Six Sigma training as well to Indian Air Force as well as to the corporate world, and I do indulge in a lot of motivational speaking for 11th and 12th class students specifically, and also to those who are interested in joining the armed forces. So that is a brief introduction about me. To set the ball rolling for today's presentation, I have picked up this presentation. I wanted to make a customized presentation. I hope everybody can see it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I basically took this presentation from our what do you call that, Disha, the cell which is responsible for reaching out to the each and every citizen of this country who wants to or who dreams of donning the uniform for the country. I have picked up this presentation from there because I feel that this will do justice to the platform where I am delivering this. So before we set course for what is that which it takes to join the armed forces, I must tell you, life of a soldier, of a officer, or of an airman in the armed forces is quite different from what we see in the civil life. What sets us apart from others is our training, our discipline, and our will or perseverance to execute the plans. So this is what which sets us apart from everybody else, because we are specifically trained for it, and that training is almost for one and a half years for an officer at various academies for the three armed forces, that is the Army, Navy, and the Air Force. For the Air Force, it is at Air Force Academy, Hyderabad, Dundigal. So that training sets us the platform for launching us into our various domains where we, uh, sort of lead the men to various challenges which we encounter in the uniform. Now, to give you an example of how the life, actually is, I suggest, everybody look at a movie which was there in 2004, Lakshya, of Hrithik Roshan. I hope people do remember that movie. because I feel that is a movie which is very close to what a person goes through when he joins the armed forces as a trainee. And while undergoing the training, the physical training is so hard that he feels like quitting so many times. I'm not saying that, that is shown for the sake of movie, but so many times that thought comes that did I do a mistake of joining? I never expected it to be that hard. But then, the group with which we are there, and the kind of training and the motivation, it really takes you forward through your training. And if you endure that training period thereafter, you can see in that movie that Hrithik Roshan sort of gets a luck in his life and he goes to achieve it. We can see it through various martyrs who laid down their lives in during the Kargil war. The famous Captain Vikram Batra, I remember, I recollect, his war cry was "Ye dil mange more," and so many people like those. They find their they find their purpose in life. They find that target in life, and they go towards it. And and after undergoing that physical training, that mental toughness and everything, I feel as a armed forces guy, you fear nothing in life. When you walk on the street, you fear absolutely nothing. You feel that you are following all the rules and the regulations. You are doing everything right. So what should you fear? And that's where the actual journey of a person in uniform starts. So that is what I wanted to say, that life in uniform is absolutely different. What we see or what we listen from people may not be able to describe it. Even I may not be able to describe it the way it is, but the one who lives it, he knows it. And definitely, we just don't bother about money. Money just doesn't affect us one bit. It's like if I have joined Air Force, I have got new parents for me. The parents who gave me birth, yes, they will. I will be ever indebted to them. But the second thing which happens, the second most important thing which happen, which I would say can be equated to parents, is joining the armed forces. The organization embraces you like parents. You are like children to the organization. To give you an example, if I have airmen under my command, I was responsible for their actions even when they were on leave. You tell me which civil organization in the world will be responsible, the boss will be responsible for his subordinates or her subordinates' actions while on leave. In armed forces, we are responsible as officers, as even Jawans, as JCOs, we are responsible for the actions of the people placed below us while they are on leave. We are supposed to take care of them. We are supposed to ask them. We are supposed to be like a family. And today, if I walk into any military station, I just say, I am so and so. I need this help. I am very sure, even after becoming a veteran, after leaving the uniform, also there will be people who will just at the stroke are requesting them for a help. They will just not hesitate. They'll come forward and help. That's the kind of environment, that's the kind of camaraderie, that's the kind of family oriented environment or a culture which we have set in the armed forces, which really sets us apart from every other person who is not wearing the uniform. And that is why they say that when the civil administration fails, when everything else fails, and then the military is called, even at the time of casualty evacuations, in the time of disaster management, any natural calamity or any hostility happening in the country, the armed forces are considered as the last bastions who will come forward and take on the responsibility and deliver. And I think it's for everybody to see. Yes, they have delivered all through these years, in terms of whatever calamities or whatever hostilities or whatever natural disasters which have taken place in our country. And and that's and the amount of respect You're not asking for it, but when you go outside and the moment you say you are from army, you are from navy, air force, the people just love you. I think that sort of kicks that person to put in his or her best when they are amongst the people, because we rarely get that opportunity to work in front of the people who are paying for our salaries through their taxes. We don't work with them, we don't this thing. But when natural calamities happen, when casualty evacuations happen during floods or during devastations, you see them, you literally, uh, that's the kind of motivation which comes to a person naturally in uniform, and he or she will not just I would say even 1% effort will not be holding back. It will be 101% effort which will be going. The last example I can I can remember is of the Wayanad floods, in which that Major Sita was standing on the bridge which was being constructed with her jawans right in the night, and she was airlifted in the night in emergency from Bangalore. Her team was airlifted and they were positioned at Wayanad to execute that, and they executed it in a record time. So all those pictures, if you see, you can see that. So that's the kind of life, if you are looking forward to, if you are looking at this, as the introductory message by the speaker was, that it is not a job. I agree with her. It's not a job, it's a way of life. It teaches you how to live life, how to conduct yourself, how to behave yourself, and how to be always in a position to help others. And that is what I feel the life is all about. And if you are, or if your near and dear ones are looking forward to it, let me assure you, that person, whoever is going to join, will not feel disappointed at all. They will feel really good. Once they join, they will feel super confident. They will feel so mentally and physically fit that nothing can stop them. So with this, I will set course for my presentation. I'll directly come on to the my core of the presentation, that what are the requirements which are required for a 12th pass or for a graduate, and what are the educational qualifications, what all is required to join the armed forces. Before that, let me take on any questions so far, anything you want to ask me. I give this type of a lecture in a very different manner. This is my first time I am giving it on a virtual platform, but I invite a lot of questions in between, and I love people interrupting in between. So please, if anybody has a question, I can answer right away.
Sir, whether wing commanders are responsible for flying the aircraft, or they are on the fields for maintenance of aircraft mostly?
Yes, I am, sir. I am an engineer who was responsible for the maintenance of the aircraft, and there are pilots who fly the aircraft. And to answer your question a little holistically, the rank structure of officer cadre starts from flying officer, flight lieutenant, squadron leader, wing commander, group captain, right up to air chief marshal. So our Indian Air Force has been divided into three main branches: flying branch, which takes control of the flying the aircraft. Then second comes the engineering branch, which takes care of the maintenance of the aircraft and the equipment. And third is the ground duty branches, in which Adam, logistics, education, Met, all these branches come. So in this engineering and the ground duty branches, they don't fly, but the flying branch people are the ones who are responsible for the flying. And this rank structure is common for all the three branches. So you will find an officer who is a wing commander. He can be a pilot. He can be an ADAM officer. He or she can be a engineering officer also.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions, sir? If there are no other questions, then we will go to the crux of our presentation. It's a long presentation, so I'll use the extracts out of this presentation to come to the point where we want to have a look. That is, what are the educational qualifications. So now we all know, as Indian Air Force is responsible for safeguarding the skies of this country. So what are the career prospects? If I have to give an example of Indian Air Force, the whatever presentation I am giving, whatever qualifications which I am referring to, they apply towards Army and Navy as well. But I will take the example of Indian Air Force since I served here in this, and I can do a little more deeper justice while delivering this talk. So various types of entry into the Indian Air Force are through NDA or through the Combined Defense Services examination. Then these days, Indian Air Force has started off its own test called as Air Force Common Admission Test, that is AFCAT. And there is a special entry for the MET branch, and then there is a NCC special entry, and then there is a SEC entry. Now, types of commission, which are the two types of, I'm basically focusing my presentation towards officer cadre only. I am not in this presentation trying to bring in the airmen or the jawans. So I'm specifically focusing on the officer cadre. So before I go through the whole presentation, I want to make this very clear because one may get confused that I'm not explaining the airmen or the jawans part, because that part I'm not taking in this presentation. I'm only focusing on the officer cadre. So in the officers cadre, there are two types of commission in our defense. That is, one is permanent commission, another is short service commission. Permanent commission officers will serve up till the age of superannuation, that is 57 years, or as per their rank, they can go up to 63 years. The retiring age of the Air Chief Marshal is 63 years. And short service commission officers will serve up till 10 years, which is extendable by 4 years up to 14 years. The major difference between permanent commission officers and short service commission officers is that short service commission officers will not get pension at the end of their term, whereas the permanent commission officer will get pension as per the prevailing government norms. Now, as I explained, sir asked me a doubt, so I clarified, but again for the benefit of the audience, there are various branches in the Indian Air Force: flying branch, technical branch, and ground duty branch. And now there is another branch which has newly been added into this, the weapons branch. The weapons branch is the branch which will look after the specific requirement of launching weapons from aircraft or from ground for destroying the enemy targets. This job was earlier being divided between flying and technical, but now there is a specific branch created for that. That is the weapons branch, which I have not mentioned in this presentation, but just for the information of everyone, I am explaining that also. Okay, now the flying branch is basically categorized into three streams: the fighter stream, the one which fly the fighter aircraft; the transport stream, which flies the transport aircraft; and the helicopters, which fly the helicopters. The flying branch qualification, coming on to, if somebody wants to join armed forces through NDA after doing 12th, their basic qualification should include physics and maths, that is mandatory, and the age limit has to be between 16 and a half to 19 and a half years of age. It is only within this age group only one can join through NDA. Okay, that is very, very clear on this. Anybody who is crossed 19 and a half years of age cannot join now NDA. That person has missed. Okay, now coming to the graduates, the ones who are graduates, for them the age limit, the upper age limit is 26 years. Okay, and they can be graduate they can be graduate in any of the subjects, that is commerce, arts, even science, and they can be engineers also. For them, the basic percentage, the least percentage they should have scored in their graduation is 60%. That is mandatory. And in their, if they are going through AFCAT, that is, AFCAT is not through CDS. See, there are three entries. I want to make it very clear. One is through NDA. NDA is for the people who have just done 12th. Another one is through CDS. CDS is Combined Defense Services Examination. That is through UPSC. UPSC, the Union Public Service Commission, conducts that exam. In that exam, any graduate can appear for that exam, provided that graduate is not above 26 years of age. That's the age limit criteria. Their basic educational qualification can be anything depending upon what they are applying. Okay. They can be applying for ground duty branch in Indian Air Force, say logistics or Adam branch. They can be a commerce graduate, or they can be a science graduate. Their pass percentage has to be 60%. That is mandatory. Okay. For an engineer, he has to be an mechanical engineer or electrical engineer, electronics engineer, computer engineer, doesn't matter. The pass percentage has to be 60%. It is 60. Everywhere it is, the pass percentage is 60. Even that person cannot be more than 26 years of age. So that is for the CDS entry I'm talking about. Now there is another entry which is through AFCAT, that is Air Force Common Admission Test. That is not conducted by UPSC. It is conducted directly by the Indian Air Force. In this also everything stays same. Educational qualification can be commerce, can be arts, science, engineering, depending upon which branch you are joining, and the pass percentage is 60%. Okay. So these are the things, and all these things, if you go on the website of Indian Air Force, career.nic.Indian Air Force. If you type this, there is a website of Indian Air Force which will open, and in that there is a cell called as Disha, DISHA, Disha. That cell, if you open, it asks you what is your qualification. You type your qualification in that, and it tells you for what you are eligible, depending upon your age. So it is very, very simple. All these things are very simple. You can find out for which category you are eligible. You can find out how much pass percentage you have, you are required to have, which I have told 60%. Age criteria, everything is displayed on it. And last but not the least, there is no reservation in armed forces. There is no reservation, I am repeating, in armed forces. This is the only organization in India, a government organization, which does not have reservation. So if you are passing and clearing, you will join. There's no doubt about it. So that's the most important part. Now, this criteria of joining stays good for permanent commission also and short service commission. The eligibility criteria is same. It's not that short service commission has a relaxed eligibility criteria. No, eligibility criteria is same. Any graduate with 60% marks and with less than 26 years of age is eligible to join through CDS or through AFCAT. For NDA, it is very, very clear. It has to be a science background, that is PCM, physics, chemistry, maths, with 60% of marks and 19 and a half years of age, less than that. 19 and a half years, less than that, not more than that. So as I told, pilots are divided into flying branch officers are divided into three categories: fighters, fighter aircraft, transport aircraft. Transport aircraft, to give you example, fighter aircraft is MiG-21s, Jaguars, Mirages, Tejas, LCA, Tejas. All these are Rafale. These are fighter aircraft, and transport aircraft are your AN-32, the IL-76, business Boeing jet, which is the Air Force One, in which the President of India flies. The Air Force pilots only fly that. Then Embraer, C-130 and C-17. These are the transport aircraft. Now the helicopters are Mi-17s, Chetak Cheetah, okay. Then Apache, which we have purchased from America. All these are all the helicopters which the helicopter pilot will fly. Engineers are divided into two main branches. Mechanical engineer. I am a mechanical engineer. So my branch is aeronautical engineer, in bracket M, mechanical. Somebody who is a software engineer, or who is an electronics engineer, or who is an electrical engineer, he'll be called as AEL. Depending upon his engineering in which he has done, he will be categorized as AEM or AEL, aeronautical engineer mechanical, aeronautical engineer electronics or electrical. Then for AFCAT, as I said, the minimum marks if somebody is applying through AFCAT, AFCAT is a Air Force Common Admission Test which is conducted specifically by Air Force. In this, UPSC is not involved. So Combined Defense Services examination is in which UPSC gets involved. AFCAT is one in which UPSC is not involved. IAF, Indian Air Force of its own, is doing it. Not Navy is also not doing it. Army is also not doing it. Only Indian Air Force is doing it. AFCAT. Okay. For that, the eligibility criteria I had told you, 60% in your graduation, 50% in your 12th. Your age should not be more than 26 years. All these things you don't have to bother. Just go to our IAF website, career.iaf.nic.in. Everything what I am saying is given in very deeper detail. I will leave my mobile number. I think is Karishma is already having with. If anybody is having any doubts, people can WhatsApp their message to me. I can reply to them. I can clarify their doubts. That's not an issue at all. But these instructions are written in a typical military style, and there is no after reading them there will not be any doubts in your mind whatsoever. Now coming to the ground duty branch, which I feel is my very interesting topic, because not many people know about this, that after doing a simple BCom, after doing a simple BA or BSc, you can become an officer in Indian Air Force without going through NDA. You can become an officer in Indian Air Force. The criteria of age is same, 26 years. Okay. And you should have 60% in your graduation and 50% in your 12th. 12th is little relaxed if you are coming as a graduate, as I said, because for NDA, for NDA entry, the 12th pass percentage which we demand is 60%. But if you are joining through AFCAT or as a graduate, then 12th passing percentage is dropped to 50%, and your graduation we are asking for is 60%. Now, what are the branches in which you can join? One is administration. You can directly join as an administration officer or an admin officer, in which the normal HR, administration, all those functions will be executed by that officer. Along with that administration, there is another branch which is called as air traffic control. So you can become an air traffic controller. There is another subset to this admin is fighter controller. You can become a fighter controller. You might have seen Abhinandan's attack on that Pakistani F-16. So that attack of Abhinandan's aircraft, he was sitting in the cockpit. Who was guiding Abhinandan towards chasing that Pakistani aircraft? It was a fighter controller who was sitting and giving instructions to the pilot that, where is that fighter aircraft? What are its coordinates? Which direction he is heading towards? So all that coordination happens through fighter controller. Fighter controller it is called because he is controlling a fighter aircraft from the place from where he or she can see things on the radar. Okay, so that's the job of the fighter controller. Air traffic controller is the one which is controlling the traffic of the military base where all this fighter aircraft or military aircraft flying is taking. This is about ADAM. There is another branch which is called as logistics. I think everybody understands logistics. So logistics is also one vital component in Indian Air Force, where a graduate from a BSc or a BCom graduate can join logistics. Accounts, BCom, I think it's directly we can understand the relevance. Met branch, meteorology. Of course, in this one has to be a postgraduate. In this, a graduate cannot join, a postgraduate will join. Education, in education branch, a postgraduate can join. In these two branches, Met and education, you will have to go through the advertisement, and probably in these two branches, the age might be relaxed. I'm not sure about it. So if anybody who is applying for meteorology and education may get a slight relaxation for in age because of the post-graduation requirement criteria. Okay, so this was for ground duty branches. Then, okay, so selection cycle is very simple. You go through the advertisement. This is the flow chart I'm trying to explain to you. You go through the advertisement, then you register yourself. You register yourself for the AFCAT exam or UPSC exam. Okay, that's very important. Either you have registered for an AFCAT exam or a UPSC exam. Then after writing that exam, if you clear that exam, you go for Air Force Selection Center, that is AFSB interview. Okay, Services Selection Board interview. That's a 5-day interview in which on the very first day screening will happen. In that screening, if you pass through, then for the next 4 days you will undergo psychological test, you will undergo command test or a group test, you will undergo a interview, you will undergo interview by a panel in which you will be asked a lot of questions which will be corroborated with your assessment psychologically, physically, and all the sum up of all your tests which you have given will be there in that interview, and based upon that the result will be declared. So thereafter you will go through a medical. Medical will be extensive. It will be again at a place where you will be told either for Air Force, either it will be Bangalore or New Delhi, and for Services Selection Board it can be Mysore, it can be Dehradun, it can be Allahabad, or even it can be Bhopal also. So these are the places where you may be asked to come for an Services Selection Board interview, which I said for 5 days, and thereafter, if you get selected, you will be going through medicals. Medicals will be thorough, very extensive. That medicals sometimes may take anything from 2 to 4 days of time. Sometimes if some issue is there, then they will ask you, suppose somebody is overweight, they will tell that person to reduce the weight in a particular time frame, and then that person will reduce the weight. They will see, recheck, and then the final merit will be made, and then a joining instruction which will be in the form of a booklet will come to your house through registered post, and your date of joining at Air Force Academy will be declared. So this is the procedure for Air Force I have explained. The same procedure will hold for Army as well as Navy. In this most important thing which people, I feel, from my, this is my assessment, is that people try to focus on a lot on their Services Selection Board interview at the selection center, and they neglect the written examination part. I suggest please prepare well for the written examination part. It is very simple. It is not difficult. I cleared it in one shot. It is very simple. Just pick up last 10 years question paper. Just pick up any book on AFCAT which is available in the market. They are not very costly, 200, 250 rupees maximum. Within 400, 450, 500 rupees, those books will come. Just go through those books. You need not to undergo any coaching. This is my recommendation. People may have different recommendations. You need not to undergo any coaching. Self-study of 1 to 2 months, depending upon your caliber and your capability, should be good enough to make you through to this written examination. And now coming for that selection interview of 5 days, there is absolutely no preparation required for that. People undergo coaching for that also. Why I am saying so? Because coaching institutes, what they do is they put a lot of artificialness into you. In armed forces, we are not looking for that artificialness. We are looking for officer-like quality, OLQ. If that OLQ is there in you, you will get selected. If it is not there in you, nothing can help you. I know few people who have gone for this interview. My own classmate has faced this interview for 12, 13 times. He could not go through. Today he is in Saudi Arabia doing very well. That's a different issue. But then my point is, do not bring that artificialness in you. Be natural. Just go there. Listen to the instructions. The solution to the problem in armed forces, it is told, is always in the instructions only. Just listen to the instructions, you will find the solution. Tests are very simple. Yes, they are time bound. They have to be time bound, otherwise the test will continue and it will not end. So everything is time bound. So if you are a smart individual who has been following time regime all throughout your life, will not face any difficulty in going through these tests. Don't worry about that. And to tell you a small story about this selection center, this thing is that in Dehradun, they said that people label us as services rejection center, not services selection center, because we tend to reject more people than select. So they said out of a, say for example, out of a batch of 100, sometimes not even one is selected. Sometimes out of a batch 100, a batch of 100, only two are selected, or maximum five are selected. So they say that people term us as rejection centers. So we are not rejection centers, we are selection centers only. Don't feel disheartened, because APJ Abdul Kalam, Shah Rukh Khan, and Amitabh Bachchan, they are rejects of this services selection board. And look what they have done in their life. So please don't feel disheartened. If you have those officer like qualities, you will become. Feel happy, good, no problem. If you don't, something else very beautiful is waiting for you in your life. So don't feel disheartened. So that's a small story. I just wanted a small incident which is told, I think, in every selection center. So nowhere you will find people will be demotivated and coming from there. As I said, there is no need to prepare artificially for these exams. The beauty of joining armed forces is the armed forces want to embrace you the way you are, the natural way you are. Yes, to make you an officer, they will train you, they will give you the necessary physical fitness, they will put that physical fitness in you, they'll make you, train you, they will, you will go through all the thick and thin of a Fauji life, and you will be cut into that officer shape after that training. So you don't have to be before that. You don't have to portray yourself anything unnatural. You just go there naturally. If you clear the written exam, thereafter it is your inherent officer like quality which will let you sail through thereafter. And medicals, again, it is not in anybody's hand. We are fit, we are fit. Sometimes we ourselves don't know what problems we might have. So okay, it's fine. If somebody has having some issues, okay, good. He or she can, understand how to tackle that. There is no need to feel disheartened after that. And the services selection procedure is very clear. They don't reject anybody medically in first shot. There is always a chance to appeal, and 50 to 60% people pass through that appeal. So it's only that they want to make sure that the person who is entering is free of all ailments, that these procedures are very, very, very stringent. That's the thing. So I think I have, fairly explained as to what it takes to get into the armed forces. I would like to stop here and take on any questions if people have, and I will share my presentation with the team, with Karishma. I'll share this and she can share it with whomsoever, like whoever wants it and wants to go through it. It's a 90 slide PowerPoint presentation, but the gist of the presentation I have already told, and anybody has any doubts, please, you can ask me. Any silly doubt, anything which is, which is bothering your mind, you can ask me. I always find that I always say that there are no silly doubts, there are only silly answers. So please, whatever you want to come, whatever is coming to your mind, you can ask.
So there is one request in
Yeah, I'm doing that.
messages. Okay.
Feedback form, please.
This is my number. I have written it on the chat and on the message. I have written my mail ID also. I'll be sharing my presentation. I'm repeating. Please don't feel anything that all the material I'll give, there is nothing confidential about it. It's a material. I feel the more people know about armed forces, the better it is for the armed forces, the better it is for the country, the better it is for the people who want to join. And I want all deserving people should at least, get that chance to make a, effort to join this beautiful organization. And let's take it as much as possible to each and every part of this country, so that everybody gets that, chance at least to understand what is it they are looking forward. And as I said, life is, you will not regret it, you will feel proud of it. There is another myth which I while doing the course of my presentations to all these 11th and 12th class kids, I encountered another part is that kids of 11th and 12th are trying to become, they join some gym and they start doing this, a lot of physical activity, compromising their studies and all. For them, I have a small and simple message. Please focus on your studies. Do not get into this too much of physical activity and all that. Okay, a simple jog every day in the morning for a kilometer or so is good enough. That's it. And you don't have to be a commando going there for the interview. No, no, we are not looking for that, because physically fit the organization will make you once you join. Before that, they are just looking for you, as I said, the officer like quality. They are only looking for that. They are not looking for that you how physically fit you are, how much you can run, how much you can do, how many sit-ups you can do or push-ups you can do. No, all these things you will be made to do when you are undergoing the physical training. All this is not expected before joining. And don't waste your time in these activities. Please focus on your studies. Your studies are very important, because you need to, if you're joining after 12th, you need to be a 60% at least in your 12th. So which is, I think, by today's standard, is a very, very decent standard of 60%, is not a very high standard. Everybody can achieve with a little effort. And yes, do prepare for the NDA written exam to be conducted by UPSC. Do prepare for the AFCAT written exam, which is conducted by the Indian Air Force. Do prepare for the CDS written exam to be conducted by the UPSC. Syllabus for all these things is given in the advertisement. It is very, very, nothing is hidden. It is very transparent system. Please, I want to tell everybody this only. It's a very, very good transparent system, and written exam is your right, I would say, is the only filter in this exam. Written exam is the, if you have cleared the written exam, you thereafter you don't have to worry much. Just go there, behave yourself, portray your natural self, and you will see that if you have the OLQs in you, which we don't know ourselves, because the people who are judging you, they only are trained by the DRDO labs, specifically to test you psychologically, to test you in command test, group test. They are specifically trained to look for those things. So they will only test you for that. You don't have to, go and join some coaching center and make it another coaching oriented game. No, sorry, that is not the thing. Armed forces are very, very clear on this. We want a naturally grown up boy or girl coming to us. We will test that girl or boy. If they fit our criteria, they come in. If they don't fit in our criteria, doesn't matter. All the very best. Do very well in your life. Anything, Karishma, you have something to say, or Ipshita, if you have something to ask, you can ask and share with the audience.
No, sir, I don't have any doubts.
Okay, so I think I said and you have understood everything. Should I take it that way?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm just joking. Even if some doubt is there or something is there, my number is available. I love answering a lot of queries. And if I can clarify the things, because this is the life I have lived through, so I can answer. I will not be faking it up, or I will not be saying something different. So whatever I have seen, I will say.
On the behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to sincerely thank Wing Commander Vineet Datta for our outstanding speaker today. We had the chance to hear a fascinating and thought-provoking conversation about opportunities up for joining armed forces after 12th and after graduation today. Through his remarkable ability to convey information, Vineet Datta left us with insightful discoveries and motivational concepts. His engaging lecture enthralled us and motivated us to study more. We appreciate his effort and time they put into organizing this educational program.